This episode of Grounded in Maine is sponsored by ESG Review. ESG Review magazine is published quarterly in February, May, August, and November, and is available for free in print and digital formats. ESG Review is devoted to environmental, social, and governance strategies, technologies, and investments. ESGreview.net is updated every Wednesday with 8 new stories and is home to feature articles, news items, and more. Visit esgreview.net to stay informed and help us spark the collaboration and awareness needed to develop sustainable economies and communities around the world.
There's a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy Fagan. I am taking a little bit of a turn from the typical sustainability subjects today, talking about some personal or physical sustainability with a new friend, Colin MacGregor, who I met not too long ago, and we've been talking about back pain, and he has some really great insight into that, and we just were trying to figure out how to make that work with the podcast. And so I think that we've got it, and I hope that you learned something. I hope that it just sparks a little bit of self-awareness, I guess. So here is Colin. Thank you so much for listening. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy. I am talking with my new friend, Colin, today. We're changing things up a little bit. We are talking more personal today, personal sustainability. So I hope you enjoy it, because I know it's a very common thing for folks. So Colin, tell me a little bit about you. How are you today?
Hi, Amy. Yeah, my name's Colin MacGregor. I'm actually from Scotland originally, but I spent 6 years in the USA, up in New England. So I have been up to your home state of Maine. I've been there before. I currently live in the Czech Republic. My background has mainly been through sport and fitness, physiotherapy. It's been the last 20 odd years doing that. I've specialized a lot more recently in lower back pain problems. And getting people fit and strong to lead their hopefully active lives. Yeah, so it's been an interesting journey through the world, doing different things, and I have remote clients, personal clients, etc. I also have a YouTube channel where I try to bring my information out to the world, so to speak, to try to help people. And obviously I've joined a podcast group, and that's how it was a Facebook group, I think, and that's how I came across you. We met that way and started talking. And so I'm excited to sort of share some of my ideas today for your listeners.
For sure. Yeah, I remember that post. You're like offering your services as back pain consultant, and I was like, my podcast has nothing to do with that, but boy, do I have questions.
Fire away.
So for the folks listening, I'm not super public about it, but I've had a lot of back pain for many, many years. And so I've just started PT again, and so in that, it's been really close to my mind. And I saw Colin's post on the Facebook page, and I was like, I just want to bend this guy's ear. And so we're talking about personal sustainability and specifically back pain, because I was trying to figure out how to tie that in. I was like, I love this. I feel like this is such a common thing that people have, back pain and just pain in general, and physically, like, to sustain ourselves, we need to take care of and manage that pain. So and so I've got Colin on just to talk about that a little bit, because, if you got back pain and you're not able to function, like, you don't have much. So I hope you guys are okay with that. I'm doing it anyway. But so let's see, Colin, how did you come to study and talk to other people about back pain? How did that come about?
Yeah, well, basically it was myself, because, up until I was injured, I'd been, fully active, different sports, going to the gym, etc. And I actually basically hurt my own back. I had herniated discs in my own back. And originally I just kind of shrugged it off, oh, it'll be fine. Yeah. But I actually made it worse a few months later. And it actually happened when I was in America at the time. And that got me really focused on it, because as the second occurrence, or the more damaging injury, happened, I had just signed up for a course with this particular osteopath therapist who specialized in lower back rehabilitation to do with herniated discs, bulging discs. So it was kind of lucky in that I started on this course as my injury was, coming to fruition, or sort of full effect of it. And I actually recovered remarkably quickly. And my doctor, he was a physiatrist that I was using, he was very surprised and, happy, of course. But he then started to send me patients. He said, look, where are you working? I'd happily send you some people to work with who are kind of on that border of, they want surgery, but the doctor goes, well, really, you could probably recover with the right work. So we started to get a lot of people sent up to us, and I would work with them specifically. We used to do quite a lot of rehabilitation, actually, because we had quite a lot of doctors who would come to us just for their own training, to this particular gym. And that sort of set off a kind of referral system of different injuries and whatnot. Then when I came back to Europe, I was in the gym one day and I was speaking to this guy. And, oh, my back, it's been weeks. I've been to all these different specialists, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, well, look, let me have a look at you, meet me on this day. And we did. And he recovered very well. He told his neurologist, who then wanted to speak to me. So I went to speak to her. And then same thing happened again. I started to get sent people to have a look at. They were not getting past physiotherapy, or they were struggling. They were contemplating surgery or whatever. And I didn't see many of them again, which is usually a good sign that they actually felt better after a couple of times, or 2 or 3 times seeing me. And it's just been kind of like that, just to sort of, but I wanted to sort of bring it more, and I was encouraged to do a YouTube channel and stuff and kind of bring stuff out there as well. And I've got another call with a guy tonight in San Diego, actually, who's found my stuff, and he's been, working on himself with my help for YouTube, and he wants to now do a more personal thing. So yeah, it's one of those problems which affects about 80% of us during our lifetime. Right. And the fact that we do sit a lot more, I think definitely that just exacerbates the problems,
Yeah, for sure. Wow. So you're talking to someone from San Diego, so the time difference must be like,
yeah.
Are you doing it like right after this? Because
it's 7 my time, so that's what, 10 o'clock his time. Yeah, okay. It's 9 hours. It's 8 or 9 hours, I think. I'll be double checking because I don't want to make a mess again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Colin and I had a scheduled meeting a few weeks ago, but it was like, and I had no idea about this, but so it was the week before the US time change for daylight savings, and is it all of Europe, or is it just Czech Republic that changes the clock? He changed his clock the week before us anyway.
Yeah, we changed the week before us. Iceland, which you kind of think is in Europe, but it is for some things, they don't change at all. So there's like little pockets which have their own little thing, but yeah, right. we're an hour before the US. But I'd forgotten. So yeah, it happens. Yeah,
but so tell us about your YouTube channel, and how did you come about living in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, so the YouTube channel, I started it last year, I think it was. Yeah, it'd be last year now, and it was just a way to sort of get stuff out there, because obviously I've experienced really bad back pain in sciatica, and I wanted to, put information out there in such a way that people can actually do it at home, practical solutions and guides, so to speak, kind of instructional video type of stuff. And it's been growing, I get a lot of comments on certain videos, and it's you're always testing, different videos, and the way the algorithm works, I guess it's changing all the time. So you have to try to stay on top of that kind of stuff. So it's been gathering momentum. There's 550 subscribers, I think it is at the minute. So, I'm not internet famous by any means, but it has been growing quite steadily, which is nice. And Czech Republic, I've been here now, 13 years. And it was a woman originally. That's why I came. It was
always the way.
Yeah, a Czech woman. I stayed. We didn't stay together, but I still stayed in the country anyway. So I've been here, ever since, pretty much. I mean, it's a good location place to be,
It's a beautiful country.
Yeah, it's nice. In Prague, I live in the city in the capital. It's very beautiful. It's like very old. It's one of the top 4 visited cities in Europe. It's a very, very popular destination for weekend trips and stuff.
Cool. And so you have a YouTube channel, you're talking on podcasts, but like, do you do other speaking engagements?
No, not really. No, I mean it's the YouTube is the main thing because people go there to find a solution usually. So that's kind of the main avenue that I use. I do have a website where I write blogs on there. The website is very easy. It's bashbackpain.com. Bash is actually an acronym. It's actually
is it?
Yeah, it's basically an acronym for bracing is the B. A is avoiding flexion before noon. S is support, and H is for hip hinging. And those 4 things are actually very, very important for managing your back pain and preventing back pain, actually. So I stuck them, I kind of thought of ways to make it, like roll off your tongue, if you will, bash back pain, like bash it away. So I came up with that acronym and it all kind of fit well. So that was good. And yeah, I have a blog there. I also have a course which I'm doing. It's an online video course as well, which people can take. And it's for those who are suffering from really bad back pain issues, herniated discs, bulging discs, who are struggling to kind of get back to normality. So it's a 21-day video course that they can undertake. And it's like you have constant contact, feedback, and the videos, it's myself on the videos going through every single day, the exercises, the stretches, the movements with the person. But it is pre-recorded, but I do it myself, so the person can watch with different angles so they get it, how to do the exercises correctly. And it's very incremental. You can do it at home, you can do it anywhere, as long as you have internet access. So that's something new as well that I've started. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I love the YouTube channel. I mean, a lot of the exercises are just, it's more like stretches, which is so important, and it feels so good.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing too strenuous to begin with, but the types of stretches they actually force you to become stronger because it's not passive. You have to be kind of active with the stretch. So it actually encourages you to become stronger segmentally, like closer to your spine, and improve your posture and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gentle. Gentle.
Yeah, but it also feels good because it's, especially sitting so much, like it stretches areas that don't see that often.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, definitely.
And I know my PT is one of your subscribers now. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Because
that's cool.
He was very curious, and he was like, "Oh man."
Well, it's quite funny because I mentioned, who did I did this quite recently. Oh yeah, a guy actually I was speaking to. So I'll just give you a random example. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some amazing physios out there, but I think with any job, you start to become kind of, I don't know, either you get bored of your work or you kind of just give out generic stuff, right? So I was talking to a guy and he's been going to physiotherapy, and he tells me, "Oh, my back pain is really bad in the morning, but it gets better as the day goes on."
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm like, "Okay." And there's been 2 big incidents this year. And he goes, "Yeah, I got a new mattress in January." And I was like, "Okay." I said, "My first question would be, or no question. My first thing I said, homework. Go and sleep on a friend's bed, go and sleep on the floor with some mattress thing on the floor." I says, "Because it sounds to me like your bed is the main issue." And people don't realize, like, when you spend 6, 7, 8 hours a day on a surface, which is not going to help your problem, it doesn't matter how much physiotherapy you do, right?
Right.
Those 7, 8 hours are just going to basically ruin anything you do. So he sent me an email just 2 days ago saying, "Oh, Colin, I got a mattress topper, like a much better mattress topper, and the pain is much better today." And I'm like,
"Oh,
it's something really, and I'm not saying why would the physio not pick up on that. It's just because the physio is just thinking, okay, it's a back patient problem. Here's the exercises. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. But nobody asks about what they're, do they carry a heavy bag? Is it a manual job? Are they picking up kids? Are they, you know what I mean? Like these little things which actually play a huge part in recovering, depending on what your activity is or your daily life is like. You as a clinic, I'm not a clinician, I'm not a doctor, but you have to think about those things if you want to give the patient or the client the best care possible, basically.
Right. Yeah, the whole body for sure.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, it's just an aside to say that, like I say, your physio is jumping on, have a look, and it's interesting because I've had a lot of physios like be curious about what I do and
Yeah.
stuff, So yeah, it's kind of cool.
And I didn't realize that BASH was an acronym.
An
So that's
acronym,
cool.
yes,
So
yeah.
the A is so avoid flexion before noon.
Avoiding flexion before noon, which is spinal, where you round the spine forward. That's flexion, where you flex forward.
Oh.
Um, so B is bracing. It just means to brace. When you're about to lift something heavy, you brace yourself, like you contract your core and your back. The avoiding flexion before noon, that was studied actually in the early 90s. They did it on patients, and they followed up 18 months later as well. And those that avoided flexion for the first 4 hours of the day had significantly reduced back pain, reduced pain days, and something really, really simple. It's just how the body moves in the morning. You're trying to protect the discs, basically. Support is actually about using support around you when you're putting your shoes on or brushing your teeth. If you've got a back problem, use that to support your upper body weight a little bit, so you're not putting too much stress on your lower back as you put your shoes on, etc. And the H, which was hip hinging, was the movement that you do when you pick something off the floor. You don't want to flex forward and pick it up. You can if you've got a healthy spine, but again, I'm talking to people with lower back issues. You want to stick your bum backwards, keep your strong upward posture, keep your back tight, and lift the item off the floor. So that's what's called hip hinging. You hinge your hips backwards so you can lift things correctly, safely off the floor. So yeah, all those four things kind of go together in my methodology, if you will.
Yeah. All those things I've been learning about, but I did not know about the avoid
That's
flexion before
yeah,
noon.
that's
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 interesting.
relatively not talked about, but it's a big thing. It does actually work, and nobody talks about it. It's
Cool.
bizarre.
Cool. But so it's been really fun connecting our two
Mhm.
topics of sustainability and maintaining your body, your back. So I hope that it's clear for other folks how they fit. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so this is interesting. We talked a little bit about it as well, is the fact that, sustainability, when you look at, okay, you've got your small homestead, perhaps you want to grow some vegetables, you want to have some chickens, maybe even a goat, right? Because there's been an increase in this, even I know in the US as well, but even in Europe, if people have got a small garden, they might get 2 or 3 chickens, they're going to have some eggs, they want to maybe dig over a patch so they can grow some vegetables, because, as we all know, the cost of everything is increasing, right? And, the way the world is today, 100 years ago, most of us would have been used to manual labor, right? Picking up a fork, picking up a shovel, a spade, and digging a hole, But today that's not the case. I mean, people we're virtually desk bound a lot of the time, and they've done various tests. There's one called the grip strength test. It's where you squeeze this grip monitor thing, and I'll get the figures not quite right, but they were saying, like, a guy of 2022 today has got the grip strength of somebody who's aged 50 years ago,
Oh,
meaning they've got a lot weaker, men in general, and just because we're spending more time sitting around. So if you want to, sort of go into the sustainable life full time, you want to, I don't know, have your garden and whatnot, it pays to actually be aware of how you're moving your body, how you're lifting correctly, just doing some home exercises or something to keep yourself strong, especially if we're slightly older.
right.
The reason being, when you're younger, you can generally do sports and activities, and you just kind of get strong from doing those things. You get fit from, playing ball, football, baseball, whatever it is, running, as we get older though, and we want to undertake something which is strenuous, physically strenuous, we're more likely to hurt ourselves. And it's just because the body starts to kind of break down after 30, 35.
Right.
So it's useful to, keep your core strong, keep your back strong, be aware of how you're lifting. I mean, some of the worst things is yard work, right? Raking leaves, you're bending and twisting, you're up and down, breaking off branches, and especially digging. If you're digging over a plot of land, it's like bend, twist. It's tough. I mean, it is tough on your body.
Yeah. We're
So
not really digging though, right, Colin? Because we've got machines for that.
you got a rotavator, yeah, but still. when it comes to
It's
weeding,
all working against us.
but when it comes to weeding, though, if you're removing a plant, for example, and you've just got a little garden, you can rotivate it. You've got the thing which churns up the soil, because we used to have one as well when I was a kid. But when it comes time to actually taking the vegetables out of the grounds, you're probably not going to go and buy a huge industrial farm machine if you've just got a little, I don't know, quarter acre or something like that. You know what I mean? So it does pay to keep yourself in somewhat decent shape. It doesn't need to be much, just going for walks. You don't have to go to the gym. You can do simple stuff at home, 20 minutes a day or something like that. But practicing what's called good spine hygiene, like how you lift objects off the floor, shoveling. I remember reading the statistic on shoveling snow, how many cardiac arrests there are shoveling snow in the US. It was insane.
Oh, I just heard there were 2 last week in New York because they got like 6 feet of snow.
They got a dump of snow.
But 2 people died.
Yeah. It's a surprisingly dangerous activity. So, being fit and healthy does have a lot of carryover into being able to, practice a sustainable, active life. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Well, that's really interesting. And especially so, if we're starting as an older person, but we're also functioning as an even older person because we have evolved negatively.
Yeah. So because I'm going to say the Western world, right? We've become possibly more service-based industries. So we spend a lot of time sitting at a desk. We don't do anything active. We don't, we're not working down the mines or working in the mills, or, we're not building our own house. We're not even mowing the lawn. We sit on a mower now. We don't drag around a lawnmower to mow the lawn.
Right. I was going to say, with technology, we've got machines to do everything.
Yeah, pretty much. So, as a result, we are becoming less and less active, so that's why it is. And if we do want to make a transition to be doing something active, we got to take it easy, make sure we're lifting, moving correctly, etc.
Right. Interesting. Okay. So for you personally, Colin, when I say the word sustainability, what does that mean to you?
Many things. I'm a great believer in local sourcing, like sourcing your local produce. If you're talking about sustainability and, the world we live in, if you want to maintain, kind of eco, friendly environments, then I try to source my meat locally, be it beef, be it chicken, whatever. I have eaten bugs, but I'm not a huge fan of eating bugs. Okay.
You have?
Yeah, I've had a food festival. I ate these bugs. I would rather eat beef close to me, chicken without any hormones in it. Homegrown. I grew up out in the country, and my father was a gamekeeper. Oh. So we had access to pretty much the only thing my mother bought, she told me, was bacon, because we lived within a farm. So there was a loch, which is a lake for Americans. So there was salmon. You had deer, venison. We had pheasants, ducks. We kept chickens. There was geese. Wow. There was sheep and cows in the field. So the farmer would kill one. He said, "You want a quarter of the cow?" Sure, no problem. Take it to the butcher. So I was very lucky in that, and we had a vegetable garden with right, berries and stuff. So I grew up in that kind of environment, and it's, I don't want to buy beef from Argentina or Uruguay. I'm sorry, like the carbon footprint of that coming all the way from there, all the way across, it's insane, right? And don't get me wrong, you'll get me started, but you want me to drive an electric car, right? Because the UK did a really bizarre thing 2 years ago. They signed an agreement with Australia to be importing Australian beef. That's 12,000 miles from Australia to UK.
Drive an electric car to save the fuel, but then buy your food from another continent.
Yeah, it's like that. Obviously it's to do with money, right? And agreements and blah, blah, blah. But don't put the guilt on me saying, "Oh, you need to drive an electric car, you need to do this." When I'm buying local produce, I'm recycling plastic. I'm recycling, the plastic is a nightmare. It's really hard to buy stuff without plastic. I try, especially your fruit, if you can, and your vegetables, if you can get it not in a packet, it's right, good. So yeah, that's sustainable. And it's quite funny. A lot of my friends, they've definitely been talking about, buying a property with land. so they can grow something, so they can keep some chickens, because, we don't know as far as the cost of things are going up and up and up, and you can see that it's becoming a big problem, for a lot of people, and people are starting to go, I can grow some potatoes in this, small bit of my garden, or I can grow whatever. So, yeah.
You grow them in a container.
That's right. My mother actually grew them they were called potato bags, and it was just like a big, very hard-wearing bag, and she had them outside. And yeah, she had like potatoes. It's pretty cool.
I have one.
Yeah. You can do a raised bed, which is the wooden platform, roughly waist height, and you can plant your lettuce in there. You can plant, carrots, whatever you want, onions, etc. So, yeah, that for me is what I feel is more sustainability. It's you turn the lights off to make sure you don't burn extra electricity. Yes, you do all these other things, but as far as living is concerned, that's or my consumption of products, that's what I consider to be sustainable. And obviously keeping my body sustainable, right? Trying to keep it healthy, keep it strong, so I can continue to do these things, of course, so yeah, I could talk longer on that, but that's trying to get it short.
Right. No, I totally get that. So Colin, this is super helpful. I'm so glad that we connected. But so if
Definitely.
Anybody else wants to follow you, if whether they have back pain or they're like, I want to learn more about the Czech Republic, like, whatever, like, how would someone follow you?
Yeah, best way is to go to my YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and you just type in Bash back pain, it'll pop up. You'll see me standing there with my arms folded in a red polo shirt. You can just follow me on there. And I usually do a video every week, usually every Sunday it comes out. You can also go to the website, that's bashbackpain.com, and I do these kind of weekly emails about back pain tips. You can sign up, there's a little pop-up that you can sign up, and you'll get a weekly back pain tip coming into your inbox if you want as well. And of course, if you don't like it anymore, you can always unsubscribe. That's not a problem. But yeah, the YouTube channel is probably the most I cover a lot of different topics on there as well. Back pain, lower back pain, upper back pain, how to set up your workstation, etc. as well, which can be useful with people working from home. Yeah, that is very useful as well.
For sure. Okay, cool. And any social media, or is it just it's YouTube and
just
website?
YouTube? Yeah, I don't. I'm not. That's a personal thing. I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not a huge fan of Instagram and Facebook. I mean, I do have those accounts for keeping in contact with some people. I've not used it as a medium for the back pain stuff. Potentially down the line, but it seems to be for my own, for this particular modality, this type of thing that people look for, YouTube is the main place where they go looking for that kind of thing. So we've stayed with that. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's very cool. I need to go to your website and sign up for
go check it out. Yep.
The newsletter for sure. But cool. Thank you so much. This has been.
Thank you for having me.
Enlightening. I really appreciate it. I hope that people can totally make the connection, and hopefully we'll check you out on YouTube. I will definitely put that in the show notes.
Fantastic.
But thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Have a good day.
All right, Amy. All the best. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
I want to just take a quick second and thank my guest again. I also need to thank Buzzsprout for hosting the podcast and Jane Bolduck for her amazing music. And thank you for listening.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, when I find love to have and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, how do I get there from here? 'Cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. the sickness, will heal the ache, with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here now I'm so far down, and mercy's bound here to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, will there be music, ooh, and good friends around me? Yeah, yeah. And I'll just smile through happy tears and wonder